Week, a quarter of its stores will close, making more than 700 people redundant. And some have said that the chain's demise is a sign of the times. But is there still a market for video rental on the high street? The retail analyst Claire Rayner is in our London studio. With me here is Al Legge, who used to work for Blockbuster, but after his branch closed, he set up his own shop called Inside Film. Thank you both for talking to us. I'm sorry, because of the Prime Minister, we've got a little less time to talk than we expected, but I'm sure you both understand. Claire, to you first of all, is Blockbuster's demise a sign of the times?
Absolutely. I think they haven't moved with the times. They haven't responded to customer needs. And this is what happens to businesses in this marketplace where consumers are in control, really. We demand what we want. We don't shop in places that don't respond to those needs. And we do shop in places that do. As we've seen with the figures, those who hadn't moved with the times failed, and those who have done exceptionally well this Christmas. And
are we seeing the slow death of the high street, do you think, when you think that Blockbuster comes off the back of HMV, Jessop's, JJB, you know, the list goes on?
I think what we're seeing is an evolution of the high street. So those retailers who perhaps could be likened to dinosaurs are disappearing, and those who are becoming much more relevant to the local community, offering the kind of service and experience that we as consumers want, are thriving. There's been some great results from some really innovative retailers, and the high street is by no means dead. Nearly 90% of all retail sales come through shops, physical premises. Only 10% come from other channels, the online and the telesales and the catalogues. So it's certainly not dead. It just needs to catch up with what us consumers really want.
And Al, presumably you would agree with that. It's an evolution, and what you're doing with a niche video rental store is satisfying that demand.
Well, it is a niche. The whole physical media side of things is on the decline, I think. There's definitely still, you know, a need for it. People still want for it. People like the idea of being able to walk in and just browse, ask us guys, you know, behind the counter, hey, what's good? But you can't get online. You can't get it with Netflix, Love Film and whatnot. And I think it's that little bit of customer service, getting to know your customers, being able to sort of suggest things that you know they might like, you know, that you've seen previously, understanding their tastes and whatnot. I think you don't get that.
Did you see the demise of Blockbuster coming? I mean, you worked in a Blockbuster store for 10 years. Did you notice the footfall falling?
We all saw it coming, to be honest. The footfall was going down. You could see, you know, the actual shops, premises were getting a bit tatty. And that's the first sort of sign of something's going wrong here, you know. We could all see it. You know, gradually they were thinking about closing stores, especially the American side of business. You know, I think they shut 90% of them within a year. And, you know, suddenly the same company that owned them is taking us over, so it's alarm bells, you know.
Claire, is in a sense this Al's part of this evolution? Are we going back to the way things used to be before all the multiples got a hold of things, and we're going back to the smaller providers on the high street?
I do see a lot of that. Certainly in affluent areas, people are crying out for a greater level of service and experience, and they'll choose to shop, perhaps spending a little more, with more boutique providers. Obviously in other areas, the high street has potentially got too much space and may need some reuse of that space. But I think what we're going to see is what's been termed the boutiquing of the high street, and I'm all for that. I mean, I think we need to support our independent retailers and encourage entrepreneurs and innovative new businesses back to the high street to give us as consumers something to really enjoy, as opposed to the same old thing wherever you go.
All right, Claire, thank you very much indeed for talking to us, and thank you very much for your patience waiting there to speak to us, and Al as well, thank you very much for talking to us. Right, that's all we've got time for this morning on Breakfast. On tomorrow's programme, we'll meet the Oscar-nominated actor Denzel Washington. That's with Bill and Susanna here on BBC One from 6 o'clock. Whatever you're doing, though, have a great day. Thank you very much for watching us this morning, and do take care if you're out in the snow. Bye-bye.